programs?
Mohammad Larijani, critics say, is one of Iran's main advocates of a hardline interpretation of Islam. He's a top advisor to the supreme leader and also the head of Iran's High Council for Human Rights. Euronews spoke with him in Geneva about executions, torture allegations and international relations. On the shooting death of a young woman amid protests in Tehran, filmed with a cell phone camera, he makes reference to an extradition request. Euronews asked UK authorities for more on this. The official answer was no comment.
The fact is, many people saying that hanging and imprisonment of opposition leaders is in fact against democracy.
Well, nobody is hanged because of demonstration and opposition, but violence is something that the law will forbid. So nobody is hanged for demonstration, for opposition. Being imprisonment only is because of inciting violence.
But do you consider them as protesters or waging war against God, as muharib?
Muharib is another issue, is not political protest. Muharib is a person who indulge in terrorist activity to bring down the government.
And you are considering them as muharib, the protesters?
Yeah, no, protesters are protesters.
Yeah, but for example, Musawi or Karoubi.
Well, definitely, not only them, the people of the street who protest one political issue or another. Why we should call them muharib? Muharib is a legal title for people indulging actively in subversive and violence against the state. This is quite different.
But in fact, human rights means that no execution. So, but Iranian, for example, executed 2 people a few weeks ago. So how could you explain the official position of the 2 executions?
Well, first of all, these 2 executions doesn't have any relation with the demonstrations, things like that. They were jailed about 7 months before the election. They were in charge of bombing in the mosque in Shiraz, which killed more than 20 people.
Those people and families, and especially the opposition, were talking about torture events inside Iranian prisons.
Well, I cannot claim perfection like any other country in the world, but torture is against our constitution, is against Islam, is against the policy of the government.
The whole world saw the video of the young Neda who apparently died in front of the camera. How do you explain this?
Neda, Agha-Soltan, it is a very cruel thing happened. It is a crime that we don't know the extent of that yet. With all information that we have, the person responsible for that criminal act right now is walking in one of the capitals of the European countries with full support. We asked them the extradition to Iran, they refused that.
But the video of Neda in front of the camera shocked millions of people in the Western
country. It shocked millions of people in Iran as well.
Yeah.
Who did it? This is a big question. And how they were ready to do it, and how they took the film, and how, you know, a guy came in just the night before this crime and flew back to the capital of a European country the day after with the whole movie with him. So I think he is the key person. He knows all information. And the United Kingdom is in charge of that. They are responsible. They should put that person into full interrogation. He holds the key for that crime.
Yeah, I see. In Western country, they are always talking about, and people is accusing Iran of imprisoning opposition, and this is in fact considered as violation of human rights.
Well, I think this is not a violation of human rights. If somebody indulges in violence, you should definitely pursue him by law. Protest is allowed, but violence is not allowed.
In the Western country, you are accused of being a not democratic country.
Well, I think Westerns are very egocentric and double standard in their judgments. While they are accusing us, they enjoy hot coffee with dictators, and they offer lavishly whatever defense system they have. Let us list the name of of the countries enjoying the full-fledged support of Western countries.
But
which one is democratic?
They have also their own lists talking about Musawi or Karoubi and other people who is already in prison, like former industry minister or the deputy minister of foreign affairs.
Well, Musawi and Karoubi are not in the prison. Obviously, we had a very fantastic election. In terms of election, it was a unique one. It was the most open election, debate, participation. Obviously, one of the candidates, in the last minutes of the election day, they kicked out of the rules of the democratic competition, and he unilaterally announced himself the winner and asked his followers to come to the street.
There are voices from inside Iran and outside Iran, like Mujahidi Khalq is always saying for Western countries that we are oppressed, we are in prison, we are arrested. So all of this making a profile of Iranian government as not exactly a democratic state.
These Mujahideen Khalq, they are a notorious terrorist group who at least killed more than 5,000 people in Iran. I mean, in cold blood killing.
They are as well relaying the accusation of people like Nobel Prize Shirin Ebadi as well, who is accusing Iran clearly, and the last day she said, come and help us please to restore democracy in Iran.
Well, I'm afraid Shirin Ebadi is mostly presenting the voices of White House rather than the voices of Iranian women. She is totally detached of the aspirations of the Iranian women. She should go among the Iranian women, not living outside. So I think what she's saying is the voice of White House, not the voice of Iranian nations.
But from the other side, they are saying that Iran government is banning internet access, banning radios, banning foreign TVs, and this in fact considered as well an act of human rights violation.
Well, we feel that if there is an occasion, a ceremony or something that we get the signal, our security people, that there may be a threat of some bombing or terrorist activity, they try to curb everything. This is happening everywhere.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.